kapua abuba tumakara abone sike kukano amikanga ntobe ikamo maro kote samtenga Shimwarure kwarara mama Shimwarure kwarara mama Shimwarure tababulira ko Shimwarure kwarara mama Shimwarure kwarara mama Shimwarure tababulira ko Ikamo maro pate sambenga Ikamo muramu pate sambenga Ikamo mwiso pate sambenga Ikamo yaya pate sambenga Ikamo maro pate sambenga Bakasea ni bani, ni baba ni boba. Bakasea ni bani, ni baba ni boba. Abane kapua, aboba tumakara, abone sikukano, amikanga ntobe, ikamo maro pate sambenga. Shimwarure kwarara mama Shimwarure kwarara mama Shimwarure tababulira ko Ikamo maro pate sambenga Ikamo muramu pate sambenga Ikamo yaya pate sambenga Ikamo mwisho pate sambenga Ikamo maro pate sambenga Do we have to do Friday never said it on my own go? Do we have to do Friday never said it on my own go? Do we have to do Friday never said it on my own go? Do we have to do Friday never said it on my own go? Ikamo maro pate sambenga Ikamo muramu pate sambenga Nayangale,
We are live. Hello, good evening, Chwempala. Elias Musha here. I'll not say where I'm coming to you live from, but welcome everybody. And we have lots of exciting things for us to look at today, particularly that the results have just been announced. It appears like it's another 31 more constituencies that have been announced so far. And so we just want to have a chat and to calm a few nerves, because it appears like some people were getting pretty mad about what was going on. But now we understand. the reason why there was all that inertia, lack of inertia in the beginning. And the whole reason why there was that lack of inertia was because there was some resistance, clearly, from what the letter that President Longo has written. Is it a letter? Is it an epistle that we should? And so because of that, we now know that ECZ may have been ready to release the results as soon as possible. Mbaba Longo threw a tantrum. So these organizations, they want to respect the head of state. We'll just continue announcing. That's how they started and to be where we are. We already did our rant earlier, and so I'll not bore you with that rant. We won't. But I have here my co-host, Mr. Norman Chipakopaku, and he's going to take over the show shortly. But before that, I want to introduce my friend Campbell. Now, Campbell and I go back a long way back. But understand, Campbell, how do you say long ways back? A long way back?
Daddy. A long way back.
How long back? How far back?
Very far. How far, Mamush?
How very far? 96 ni story ama teenagers, eh?
96 somewhere there.
So 96.
we went to you and me went to State House.
Imagine.
As teenagers.
Representing our province.
That was yes, representing our province. That was amazing. You know what? That trip is one of the highlights of my life ever.
Me too.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing, and I think God was creating something, and from that time we've bonded and look at where we are right now. Okay, so General.
Good evening, Zambia. Good evening, and greetings from Scotland, Musha. What a day! What a day! We started by trying to calm the nerves down. Yesterday I was almost running mad, but today it's even worse because I've never seen a day of statements. We've had a tantrum by the head of state, the outgoing president. We've had a statement by observers, Commonwealth and EU and UN. We've had a statement by the opposition leaders who have conceded a letter to the outgoing president. We've had a statement just released by the Law Association of Zambia. And we have had tantrums at the Mlungushu Hall as well. Just 5 minutes ago, there was a big exchange between Gary Nkombo and Madame Skazwe. I don't know whether she's a doctor because we have a lot of doctors in Zambia. So what a day, Musha! What a day!
Right.
So to me, it's a sign that there's some nerves somewhere which are really beginning to show.
Yes, I think the results were very apparent right within hours of voting, but President Longo was in denial. And he was also probably depending on what other people lied to him, right? Because they probably told him, Mr. President, don't worry, abapa no, to allow me to rig the election. And so he throws tantrums. But the results of this election were apparent within hours of the election, and it was very clear that he had lost. Without Copperbelt, without Lusaka, shaky Bemba areas, shaky Chipata areas, there is no way he was going to hold on. And then he knows exactly who to blame. Unfortunately, he's not looking at himself. He's not looking at the Copperbelt. He's not looking at Lusaka. What really happened? He's not doing that.
Kopala the show, you know, people were showing ivory, and you know they give him the boot, you know. And by the way, I didn't get to do what General does. Good afternoon from New York. Good afternoon, Zimandola. Good afternoon, Wakopakitwa po. Nakuchiwe mpala konsioko. Chidida bombu ya chan. Dundumwezi CB style.
Yeah. No, I think what I've really, there's one word which Mr. Longo used, and he said these elections are a nullity. Musha, you are the lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. There's no way that a president can nullify elections. Mr. Lungu, I don't know where you studied your law. You can't nullify elections. You have no powers, Mr. President, to nullify elections. You have no powers. And Musha, I mean, I'm not a lawyer, my dear brother. You are the lawyer. What's going on? What's really going on? That a president can think he has the power to nullify. Go ahead, Musha.
I think he used a very technical term, nullity. You know, these are things that lawyers claim against each other. So you go like, whatever you did here is a nullity, meaning it has no legal effect or something like that. So it's very curious that he decided to use that kind of language in a press statement. It's the letter itself is very shady. It's too immature, premature, and everything. He can't do what he says he's doing. In fact, he can't even declare them as not free and fair because he's just a participant. Anyway, so he says that he has declared them not free and fair. Now, how can the whole head of state say that he has declared his own election with his own security, with his own guidelines, with his own funding, and say that this election is unfair? It's not free and fair. This is pathetic and it's embarrassing, for goodness sake. We want to give him a dignified exit. Pesa mbodi amfua. Tukala nepot mashu tusuma. Nomba tuambe kokula chita, ukusavuka.
Yeah.
No, that wouldn't be nice. And I mean, the thing is that these results, like you're saying yesterday, the turnout, if the turnout is high, it favors the opposition. And we're seeing it from the results. I mean, even in Eastern Province, which is supposed to be a PF stronghold, I mean, Hichilema is either close or even winning in some cases. And that tells you that countrywide, these guys are in trouble. And when he leads in his strongholds in Northwestern or Southern, I mean, it's 10,000%. It's crazy.
Yeah, and the other reason, Musha, which I find very, very annoying, is that it looks like, I think I heard you say this in the afternoon, this man looks like he's continuing with that agenda of tribalism. Basically, he's still telling the Tongas to say you are tribalists. You are bad people. The Lozis are bad people. People from the Northwestern Province are bad people. He's trying to divide the country between the North and the South. And I think it's a very, very dangerous way of doing it. So to me, Musha and our viewers, it confirms that Mr. Lungu was actually sponsoring CK. Because that statement actually confirms it. How can you say that your election agents were beaten, were harassed in Southern Province, in Western Province, Northwestern Province, but the same people who were harassed signed the G20 form to declare the elections? It's crazy.
Right.
I don't understand that.
Yeah, I think this and President Longo needs to know that the people of Zambia have rejected this divisive tribalism. I don't know what else I can say for the president to clue into the rebuke that he has received from the people of Zambia. It's like he has no ability, no insight into his own actions. There is something wrong with this gentleman. I'm sorry. He has no insight. Because ngakwachitike chinkun kalimo, you've got to to say, what is it that is happening to me? What just happened? Were we wrong on the message? Were we wrong on the delivery? Were the people deceiving me? The people that I was sending? Were the crowds deceiving me? But no, he says it's because of Western Province, Northwestern Province, and Southern Province. Something that is completely not true. Now, because he is a president, you can't say he's a liar. So now, because he's supposed to be afforded that dignity of his office. So I won't say that he's a liar. But what I'll say is that the statement that he has written, because the statements are not the president is Longo, not what he has written and what he says out of his mouth. What he has said out of his mouth are lies, complete lies. They are all fraudulent. It's all confused doublespeak. It's not something that is very well coordinated. He himself is coordinated. No, if you're there is no coordination.
Yeah.
What just happened to me? Nalusa shani kuchwempala, nalusa shani kuchimwemwe, nalusa shani kuchifumo,
Chingola.
nalusa shani chingola. You know? Something like that. With a more uniting message. Not to Kwisaran that Western province, Northwestern, we refuse that. Now, I'm going to defend the Northwesterners and Westerners and Southerners. No, but Balungu, the people that have rejected you are the Northerners and Easterners. Eva Mikene. That is why you are saying Milenge constituency, Lungu had 10,000, HH had 5,000. For the first time in the history of politics. Pambashe, the same thing. Chembe, the same thing. It means that the message of HH has reached up to 30%. He's getting 30, 40% in Wapula province. Now, this president is not cluing into the message at all. We've received results from Morokoso. We've received results from Chimbamilonga. We've received results from Luwingu, from Kaputa, even Isoka and Mbala. All those results are saying one thing. HH has been elected president in those places. So where does he get the guts to think that he's being rejected only by the people of Southern Province, Northwestern Province, and Western Province? I don't want to go on this rant.
For me, Musha, I want to continue with this rant for just a minute or two. If you continue insulting the people of Southern Province and the Western Province, and then Dundumwezi gives you 252 and HH gets 27,883, can you blame the people of Dundumwezi? You can't do that. You can't blame them.
No.
These are the people you're insulting every day. You're accusing them to be killing your. These polling agents are Zambians. They come from Southern Province. How can you fight your own people? It just doesn't make any sense. The whole of that statement from State House, Musha, I won't call it a lie. I think it's nonsense. It's complete nonsense. And it makes me really, really shiver and worry how we ended up with a president like that for 10 years. I find it very difficult. No wonder we have a huge debt, because that is not a president. That man was not a president. We were a country on autopilot for 7 years. Because if he can write such a statement and then accuse the people of Southern Province, Western Province, and Northwestern Province, and then you look at the range of these results, Musha. He's losing everywhere.
Right.
Yeah, but you see, there was also a lot of deception, right? I remember when I was in Ndola just 2 months ago, PF were holding some meetings and they were busing people into the city, right? They were busing people. And so they were creating an illusion as if they were popular. And I think that is the message that the president was listening to say, no, but President Wakateka, everything is okay, when things had really changed on the ground. And now we're beginning to see it. I mean, we are seeing it in this election. This is, I think it was Bamonsha who said, or somebody else who said, this is a referendum on the president and on PF. I mean, the people have spoken by turning up to vote. And it's not just in these UPND strongholds. It's everywhere. If HH is cutting your lead in some places, your strongholds by 50%, that is a huge thing for UPND. And so there has to be a lot of introspection. I think personally, but I think that this election might be the death knell in the Patriotic Front as a party, as a viable party going forward. So,
if you hear the comments, Musha, from the PF, because now they are fighting amongst themselves. If you listen to the comment from Max Chongo, basically, they are pointing a finger at the Secretary General, and the you look at the Secretary General Davis Mwila, you can tell he's a defeated man. He doesn't know what to do, and he can't believe that this is what has happened, because all along they've been telling Lungu lies. Davis
But
Mwila,
is it that they were telling Lungu lies? Couldn't he perceive it?
No,
That's what leadership is all about.
Is not smart enough. Sorry, isn't smart enough.
Now, General, I must also admit here that this has really been a surprise. I think even the UPND itself should be surprised at what has transpired. Do you think President Hichilema was very sure that he would perform like this? You know?
Yes, he was sure, but not to this extent. We were sure of the Eastern Province, and to be very honest with you, our target was between 30 and 35% for Eastern Province. And I was saying if we go 40% of the vote in the Eastern Province, we would be happy. And the target for the North was about 30%. And we're saying if we get 25%, 30%, that's fine. But we've gone to win we've won a number of places in the North. HH has actually won in a number of places in the North. In the Eastern Province, he has led in a number of areas. And now, and then Copper Belt everywhere. So basically, PF's numbers are being reduced by half everywhere, even in their strongholds. And even in some cases, they're being beaten clean. So it simply means that the whole thing, we were thinking of about 90 seats. But the projection now is about 109.
Yeah, and to be honest, that's a huge number. That's almost 2/3.
Yeah,
that's 2/3. And so as the people of Zambia needs to think about
seriously
what they've just done. They have given the UPND almost a super majority, and so we will have definitely more days to talk about that. But it was because of the negligence, I think, of the Patriotic Front. We need a vibrant democracy in our country, and giving the UPND such a majority might not be too good for democracy. But it's a nice problem, I think, for the UPND to have, because they are sweeping Lusaka, they are sweeping the Copper Belt, and you see, because some of the projections were that he was going to perform very well in these urban areas. But was it expected that he would actually pick seats in Lusaka, like Kabwe? Because the candidate, your candidate general, sorry, but Kabwe candidate, very few people know him personally.
Knew him,
and he has won.
Not only that, he was in the hospital for 3 weeks soon after he was adopted. And he was in the hospital not campaigning for 3 weeks because I think he had a problem in the hospital. I mean, look at this shocker. Look at this shocker, Musha. Chingola, 30,451. And ECL, 18,219. Chingola. And one other phenomenon which has come out of this is the number of independents from PF.
Now, the independent thing, Kembo, just come on before I
No, go ahead. You're going to, because I was going to talk about what you talked about.
The independent thing is surprising for several reasons. You see, so HH is the president of choice for most of these seats where independents are winning. And yet, so the trend is quite confusing, right? Because if they are choosing independents who are PF, so these are PF independents, so to speak. If they're choosing PF independents, how then do they end up still electing Hakainde Hichilema for president? So that is the little confusing thing that we are going to live and analyze for a very long time. It appears like the independent phenomenon created a lot of anger in the grassroots, such that they said, if the Patriotic Front is behaving like this, they are arrogant to us, we are going to elect this independent and then go for Hakainde Hichilema as president. So that is one of the, but we will have lots of time to go through the data and see what really happened.
No, and it was a mistake. These independents, most of them who were PF and have won, were really, this is a protest vote from the PF sympathizers in those constituencies, because these usually were the men and women that were preferred by the people, but were rejected by the party, namely the Secretary General. Right. And so what happened was that these guys went out, and even they went out and campaigned for themselves. But UPND was able to pick up the president's vote in those constituencies because there wasn't so much support from the PF sympathizers for Longo himself. Because in many respects, the party's decision not to adopt these people was blamed on the president. The president should have stood up for them, and the president rejected them. So the people also rejected him. So it's a very interesting phenomenon. But they split here in America. We say they split the ticket.
They split, yeah, exactly. And the worst thing is to see Tasila Chimtengo Forest lose.
Has she lost? Because there's a lot of fake news going on.
No, it's confirmed she's lost.
But General, don't act as if you are saying it. No, it's a bad thing. You're happy.
No. What I'm saying is that it is the amount of money they've put in that campaign, and I expected her to win. I didn't expect the father to win because I knew he was. I mean, he campaigned. To be very honest, towards the last 2 weeks. PF campaigned for HH. PF campaigned for UPND.
Somebody saying Tasila has won.
Yeah, I've said somebody saying Tasila has won. The information I have is that Chimtengo is lost. So anyway, we'll confirm it. But the other thing which is very interesting, Musha, is the percentage turnout. Have you seen that the turnout in the southern, the western, the northwestern, Lusaka, and the turnout in the north and eastern is not as high?
No. And that is what they needed to really look at, because they thought that once they manipulate the register and give more registered voters in the north, in the Bemba areas, again, I'm just using this as a loose term, right? Because obviously Namanga's Mambwes don't want you to say that these are Bemba areas. I agree. Anyway, so these areas, what they were thinking was, let's just have more registered voters, but they did not deal with the issue of turnout.
Turnout, yeah.
Because they were Northerners were not motivated to go and vote. Why? Because of Lungu's lack of leadership, Lungu's arrogance of Davis Mwila, arrogance of the Chipani, arrogance of cadres, arrogance of all the even remote appointees, arrogance of the president's daughter, who goes to Sinda and General, fences off an entire forest to herself. Isn't that a scandal? Goes to Sinda, no kuya chita fence of forest, Chimtengo forest, and says Chandi. That is the kind of out-of-touch arrogance that has led to the complete obliteration of the Patriotic Front. They are not going to recover from this. What we expect as the people is complete apology, not throwing all these little tantrums here and there. That is not going to work at all. It's not going to work. But on turnout again, the opinion polls, General, this reminds me of the opinion polls that were released. They were putting the turnout in Southern Province at 60%.
Yeah, yes.
So they were predicting that Southern Province is going to have 60% turnout, and it was clearly
wrong, completely wrong.
No,
I mean,
Southern is not going to have 60% turnout.
Our viewers, when they published that fake poll, which included Richard, the so-called professor from London, we told you that was fake. It was a fake poll. And they thought that by registering more people in the north, those people would automatically go and vote. And not only that, the issue of rigging was there because they've been catching a lot of people. Even today, somebody changed the figures, and it was almost global. Lucky enough, the police did a good job. Would have had another disaster today. So they were really banking on these fake polls, a lot of shtenges and a lot of money, and that they are going to definitely rig them and try and rig, because we hear people are running up and down at night. You know, I won't even mention some people like Kaiser Zulu driving all over the shore, Eastern Province, going up everywhere. So there is a sign definitely that the strategy didn't work. It didn't work. The strategy didn't work.
General, large-scale rigging requires very sophisticated resources. You can't just stand up at Kaiser Zulu and you go rigging. It never works like that. Because it's very sophisticated. You can't just show up and say that you are rigging. You see, that's what I was saying at Nibukerenka, you know, because they started singing the rigging song before even people had voted. Some of the most citizens in Zambia were actually scared. They were coming to us, General, and telling us, these people are going to rig. Are you sure that HH is winning? These people are going to rig. Well, these are Kelenkas. They wanted to give you the impression of that they are capable of rigging. They are not even capable of rigging.
Yeah, because
first of all, they are incapable of governing, and so even rigging itself, they are so incapable of it, and it has shown today.
Yeah, but you speak. Oh, go ahead, Vamos.
Rents that he has. Davis Mwila has PVT. If you have
that was a lie.
According to our PVT, it is showing us that in the north we are leading. We have 1.5, almost 2 million votes from the north.
They say they were winning by 70%, Musha. And then Mr. Lungu then started saying, no, he was winning by 500,000 votes. Mr. Lungu, you're trailing. You are trailing by 600,000. So where are the 500,000 votes he was talking about?
Okay.
You know, so PF is gone. PF is gone. Mr. Lungu is gone. And when they go to parliament, when this new government is formed by Monday, PF will start fighting amongst themselves. First of all, they don't like Davis. Davis Mwila is really now the most unpopular Secretary General. And they don't know what has happened to Mumbepiri. You know, I've been waiting to hear their voices. Mumbepiri, what has happened? What has happened to Kabwe? What has happened to GBM Musho? Do you know where these people are?
There's a rumor in the comments there. Kabwe was caught at the border.
No,
those are just rumors.
No, they're just hibernating. They'll come back. They'll find a way to survive. These are political animals. They'll find a way to survive. But I don't think Kabwe is going to come back from this. His tribalism was just too poisonous. He can't come back. GBM can find a way to come back because we know that GBM is definitely a Bemba supremacist, but he hasn't yet issued such poisonous tribalism. I haven't heard it from him. Of course, he has very bad language, but other than that, he hasn't. So he might maneuver himself through the Patriotic Front and try to become its leader. Otherwise, the Patriotic Front is in trouble. They have no leader at the moment. Davis Mwila is confused. He adopted wrong candidates. It was just confusion after confusion. Anyway.
And rigging, like you said, rigging is very, very hard, especially when the vigilance is at the polls, right? And I think UPND was very good at manning the polls, making sure that their people were there, making sure that they were there for the counting, and communicating those results back to the Secretariat with proof of those results. That's why they can stand there very confident of the results because of their management of the election. And unfortunately, you know, the Patriotic Front looks like they haven't managed their side very well. So all this talk about rigging, how does an opposition rig an election? How? I mean, when the ruling party has all the state machinery at their disposal, when they can move freely within the country, how can the opposition, on the other hand, begin to rig an election? This, to me, is just another sign that the PF know that they have come to an end and they're trying to find a scapegoat somehow, somewhere, you know?
There's a confirmation, Musha, that Tassira is won. And I would love to see. I would love to see that backbench of PF. I mean, the PF MPs, including JJ and Tassira. That would be very interesting in Parliament, indeed.
Why did you have to say that? Okay, you tell me why, of all people, General, that have won, why do you pick JJ and Tassila sitting at the backbench?
Yeah, because you can tell that the caliber of their MPs. I mean, Tassila and JJ. Those will be their stars. I think people like Garin Combo, Garin Combo probably will be in the front bench. They are very, very lucky that he's going to be in the front bench. He has to behave. So that is the caliber. So it's anyway, it's good for her. Somebody saying Tassila is lost. So that's what I got. That's the news I got. But somebody saying, so I'll have to confirm this tonight. Okay. So let's go to the total so far, Musha. The total so far out of the 62 constituencies announced is I'm not going to count Amdudu and all these other people. I'm just going to talk of HH 1,1,024,212 and Edgar Chagwa Lungu Talebwela Popampando 562,523. So basically, he's trailing by about 500,000. So the thing is that Copper Belt is gone. The thing is that they're sharing votes in the north, and if it's continuing at this rate, it's game over, Musha. I don't know what you think, Campbell.
No, it's game over. I mean, it's 63%. I did the calculation. Right now, HH has 63% of the announced votes. So for President Lungu to make up ground...
Now, Kembo, I'm not a math person. I just want to know whether that's the 3% includes the other candidates.
Yes.
Did you also
yes, I totaled.
Well?
So I totaled all the results for all the candidates and came up with that number to achieve cross multiplication.
Yeah. So I was putting it in about 64%. So that is before we finish Copper Belt. That is before we finish Southern Province, before we finish Northwestern Province, before we even finish Lusaka. So that is those are dangerous signs. Those are very dangerous signs, and it's really looking like it's heading to a new president being sworn in on probably on Monday. And for me, the statement by the president that he has nullified the elections doesn't stand. I'm not a lawyer, but that's complete nonsense. And I think he was trying to threaten people. He was trying to intimidate Laz. Dr. Kasonso, good evening and welcome to TV Bakwetu.
Good evening, sir, and I'm enjoying listening. You surprised me, but I wanted to wait a little longer. But I'm good. I'm good.
And Gladys from Denmark, welcome to TV Bakwetu. We are looking at a day of drama, a day of tantrums from State House.
Yes. Thank you. I've been following. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And the climax of the day was Garin Kombo versus Dr. Skazwe at ECZ in Mulungushi. That was very, very interesting. And I could see that Shindano was getting scared. I don't know why he was getting scared. But Musha, what do you think? I think the statements from State House put ECZ in a very awkward position. What do you think?
Yes. It did, because I think ECZ was trying to handle this matter in a very diplomatic manner, in a very African manner, where Kalamba. So they probably went to him and told him, Mr. President, the numbers are not looking good, but we want to go ahead and begin announcing it's not good for you. Begin preparing to retire. And he told them, no, don't announce. So all this resistance we were seeing at the ECZ was not because ECZ was trying to cook up figures. It was because they were having resistance until they just defied it. They told him, we are going ahead. And they started announcing. They just told him, we are going to announce. And if you noticed how they came up today, they were much more confident, the commissioners.
Yeah.
They were looking defiant. It looks like they were much more energized by that letter from President Longo. They are like, we have got to carry out our mandate. And then they started giving and spitting those figures. And each time they are spitting those figures, you can even see that the chances of the president ever retaining power started diminishing with every figure that was being given. And so I think that is what happened. So President Lungu knows that he has no power over them, and they have defied him, and they have told him he's losing.
The other thing was the contradiction. The observers, the AU, the European and the Commonwealth, the statement they issued was a direct rebuke of Israel to say, actually, you are the one who has violated the rules. You are the one who intimidated the opposition. You are the one who restricted the opposition. You are the one, So he issues a statement to say they intimidated these people, but the observers actually told him to say, no, Mr. Longo, it's you who has been restricting, abusing the law, especially the Public Order Act and the ZNBC. It was funny to see ZNBC today going to actually all the UPND press conferences for the first time. Very, very funny. So what do you think? What do you think is going on, Dr. Kasonso?
Thank you so much, General. With regards to Northwestern Province, Western Province, and Southern Province, the words of Michael Chirufyasata came to pass on Edgar Lungu. Taimineko pachulu kweyala yabantu fyaka bachitira kulya kuntu. Taimineko pachulu kweyala yabantu fyaka bachitira Lungu. And two, there was a statement that Council Musha made that the tribalism coming from the mouth of Shimba Kabwe is actually stimulating a lot of backlash in those parts of the country, and they are just coming out to shut down the Patriotic Front. And also, that is the same message that endangered the lives of his polling people that he's complaining about, that they were being hammered and they wanted to be thrown out of that place. Basically, that message pit one half of the country against the Patriotic Front and their leadership, and anybody who stood in the way of the people was going to be a martyr for Lungu. So the person who endangered the people's lives in those places is actually the drama queen now. Now we know the president of Zambia is a drama queen. How can you be a president and you go and say the elections are not free and first of all,
no, let's just be clear. Mulepanga Mlandu.
Mulando.
Mulepanga Mlandu.
Mulando Shwakas.
Pantu Mulei Taba Lungu at is a drama queen. Mulando. Information of character.
How can she apply pardon to president-elect? So because I was prosecute. So but anyway, I look at drama queen naturally mubika femumitimana futa pakanwa. So what happened is he's saying that he only campaigned in 7 provinces. In 7 provinces, he didn't even campaign. Nakwena taile mina pachulukula abantu fyakachi. Atumeve Shimba Kabwe, nokuya mkweba abantu atiyo ababatonga takuli kubavotera abatonga bali befi. They were literally trying to divide the country. So what we have seen from our president, may his days be numbered in being caught like that. What we have seen from him, he says that no, the election took place only in 7 provinces. He is the one who created that stage. He had the power, the machinery to campaign in every corner of the country. He had the power, even for 7 years, to distribute and govern the country as a unitary state. But what we've seen in the end is that his love for country was actually not there, because Zambia is not 7 provinces. In fact, save for the Patriotic Front, Zambia is actually 9 provinces. Zambia, so if he removes those, he's saying Zambia is 6 provinces. Zambia is not 6 provinces. Zambia is 9 provinces. Okay, let's say they have improvised a 10th one. So Zambia is 10 provinces. So the person who is trying to govern the people must love all the people. It was him who was escorting, using the police to block Hakainde Hichilema at every turn to go to Chipata. He had to pass through police, and sometimes they would make him wait in airports. And that man has got good health. Lord bless him. Because unga muntu umbira ngo nibalungu babapishe mulefu barapisha ngali konta ukafia ngali konta ukali fenta but ale yakateka mu bantu mu mishi. In fact kumbala afumileko national ya chimambwe kumbala kulifia ati Hakainde sichilima na kwenda kule nawe ina no kuwina. So awe nachiwamba musha Zambia yalatampa chipya and it walabwe la kuli adult government, not government ya makadas baboma ndusambo kukalabana fe pakano bukaka fe but mukano mufabe fya bupuba but eba MP bala ku backbench wokwine ku backbench eko bakola chite fya bupuba twala kuli now adult government. So Balungu has simply harvested what he sowed. He didn't love the country enough. He couldn't be returned. He is a lawbreaker. Nintoba mafunde telling loku nina for a third time. Constitution ya alikana. Na kake naka constitution court aka msuminishe. Tuwala chisa petition wa member of parliament. Wake esale judicial system ya alifo gunoko wabula kalaka scandalous court. So again na bambi balandeko because I want in instance sana panonde tusha no kutusha chimwambwe na fendi na relax mode. Zambia
before we go to Gladys, anybody who knows what HH got, HH and ECL got in Solwezi, our viewers, I don't know. I missed that number. What did HH get in Solwezi Central, and what did ECL get? Because I didn't get that number. Gladys, what do you think? What do you think happened today? The tantrum, the president, Law Association of Zambia, the statements from the observers, and a very, very aggressive ECZ coming out in style and announcing their results very, very fast this evening. Go ahead, Gladys.
Yes, what I can say is they say empty tins makes loudest noise. You know, and when there's the tin has got food in it, it won't make noise. And empty tins, that's the PF themselves and their leader. They are making too much noise because they have no message to the Zambians. And these overwhelming results you can see. I, for one, I can see that it's from the Zambian people themselves, which is the youth, and the patriotic front themselves, because there has been a lot of fights inside the patriotic front, fighting for leadership, fighting Muzungwani Konde. So in the end, it's like Twala Fidira Munsenga. And I like that thing of watermelon concept. The watermelon concept, and it has really worked, because it's like, give us the money for campaign, we're gonna use the money, and some of it they're gonna put it in their own pockets. Meanwhile, they simply know who they are going to vote for. They have been using Kambwili. Kambwili, who they have been using, he's done a great job by decampaigning PF in the name of Tuleo Naula by UPND. Meanwhile, they are pushing them. They are pushing them in front, and these are the overwhelming results. Because if I can see this, we had a president who is voiceless. We had no president. The leaders, for me, I thought Kalimanshi is the president in the country. It is untouchable. When there has been gassing, when there has been all these 48 houses, when there has been all the deaths, how come suddenly there's been an issue of the death which happened recently? What about the people who died last year and many other UPND members who have died? Their souls are useless. Whatever soul which has been lost, regardless it's PF, regardless it's UPND, they are also worthy. But in this case, there's just noise which is being made by these empty tins, including their own empty tin leader. We did not have the leader, unfortunately. I'm sorry to say that. And the violence which has been made, there was only one person who had to stop the nonsense which has been happening in Zambia. It's so pathetic, and this has to come to an end, really. And I really wish the people who be in front, that this thing of putting all the using mismanagement of manpower, where they are meeting some prime minister coming from somewhere else, and all the people on duties, instead of carrying out the state duties, they are putting them in convoy, using mismanagement of power, using the government state machinery and fuel and everything. When are we going to be liberated? When are we going to move from that nonsense? We have to. It has to come to an end. Tribalism has to come to an end, and I'm so happy that we're going there. It's done, and I'm happy, General. You are smiling today. We are getting there.
Yeah, well, to our viewers, Chipata Central is gone to UPND. Dollar Central is gone to UPND. Lusaka alone, HH got 38,835. ECL got 26,000. That is Lusaka Central. And in Masaiti, in Dollar, HH got 12,138 and ECL got 9,499. In Chavuma, HH 13,758, ECL 2,925. So things are happening. In Ikankoyo, HH 8,104, ECL 6,000. So HH has been gaining everywhere. Mr. Nkwirimba, you're back home, sir. Good evening, and tell us what's happening. What's your take of what has been happening today?
Good evening, General, and the rest of the team. Yeah, it's really amazing. The 2 points that I want to say something about. The letter that President Longo has written to say that the elections are not free and they are not fair. It's really amazing for him to write that. First of all, he's the one who has created an environment of violence. You know, he has built that over a period of seven years, where members of the opposition, especially the UPND, during by-elections, they have been battered, they have been maimed.
Yeah.
And even we have people that have been killed.
Yeah.
And the police never arrested anybody for killing those people. Even when those that killed, for example, Lawrence Banda, they are known.
Yeah, it's known.
No arrest has been made. So over a period of 7 years, he has created an environment of violence, an environment of injustice. There'll be those by-elections have not been free and fair. So how can he cry at this stage when he himself created that environment of violence? It doesn't make sense. Well, I agree that the environment, the process may not have been free and fair because he created that environment himself. So he shouldn't cry at this stage. He should not cry at this stage. And it just shows lack of leadership. And leadership both at leading others and leading himself. It's like there's some emotional bankruptcy. You know, the person cannot manage himself. How do you, as a leader, say something like that? You know, it's it's really just a mess, because what he has done, it creates an environment where peace is threatened. Just in the last few days, he has said things that threaten the peace of this country. You know, he said when he is really elected, he's going to arrest a church. He said something like, if it was in other countries,
yeah, that was dangerous.
How do you say that as the leader of a country? The person you are talking about has a following of over 2 million voters. He has a following of half the country. What do you think is going on in the minds of those followers when you threaten their leader? It's just amazing. And I think God should help us that this kind of leadership should come to an end in a few days to come. The other thing I wanted to comment was what happened at Mulungushi International Center, at the center. You know, the exchange between Gary Nkombo and Emily Skazwe.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have been following. You know, it's like there's so much tension in some of the commissioners.
Yeah.
It's like they are defending something. There's so much they are defending something. And there's the same arrogance you see in PF. You see that arrogance in some of the commissioners. Young people who are addressing others like the people don't know anything. They are lecturing people. How do you do that? You know, those are our servants. They are supposed to serve us.
Yeah.
And their demeanor should be that of service, not that of a master.
Yeah.
And that we have seen that throughout, where they call stakeholders and simply give instructions, just give guidance. They don't want to have dialogue. For me, that is a problem. It's a sign of something that is, I don't know. It's like some people are annoyed to see the kind of results they've seen.
Yeah, I think for
expected
for Doctor
something because of these results. Yes, General, you can go ahead.
Yeah, for Dr. Skazwe, whatever she's called Skazwe, she was so patronizing.
You can go ahead.
Yeah, she was so. Thank you so much, Wankulimba. She was Skazwe, Emily Skazwe was so patronizing, and I think that attitude is very, very bad. It's like she believes that she's a PF member and she's defending PF, which is terrible. And so I've got the Solwezi numbers here. Solwezi Central, HH 33,301, ECL 1,631. So the numbers are just increasing and increasing. And
but General, I think those are Solwezi West. The one.
That's Solwezi West.
Yeah, those are Solwezi West numbers.
Fantastic. I wanted to hear from somebody who's at home.
You are breaking. Maybe
Am I breaking?
No, you're fine on this end.
Okay. Let me hear from somebody who's at home. Who's at home again? Perry is not in home. Bumkelewa is not at home. Any wise man? What's your story?
Yeah, thank you very much, General. Good evening to my elders there. Good evening to my sister. I think first thing to confirm, General, Kabwe Central, we have got it. Tuto Angulube, we have taken him where he belongs. I think to my observation, I think the UPND is hunting them one by one, because I'm told even Makebi Zuru has lost
it. Gone,
and Tutua as well. Yeah, so I'm sure that U10 thing, it is wanting them, which they thought is going to want UPND, but I think it has now started hitting them according to their bad plan, which they wanted to do. And the other where we have got problems in Kabwe is Wacha constituents and the Mayolo position. As you know, the instruction were that prisoners, they are only going to vote for presidents and not MP and the mayors. Here in Kabwe, Wacha constituents, we received the votes from prison, which we are voting for mayors and an MP. So there are problems there, and Wacha now is not yet confirmed because our candidate, they are refusing the results which has come from Kobeko prison there. Those are the problems. Coming to the issues which we have, I think, which have been addressed by my elders there, the issue of the results and the rest. I think we can see that we did our part, and the results are coming in our favor. That is the way to go. I think there is nothing to add or to remove, because I think HH had done the best, and the Lungu and the team, the Rulu team, I think they are the best campaign managers who were campaigning themselves. If you can see when Shimbakambwili, the way he was ranting, when you can see Antonio Mwanza, the way he was ranting, when you can see all the camps, the way they were ranting, I think you're able to tell that these people, it didn't mean well for Zambian people, but they mean well for their pockets. So I think God answer our prayer, and it's good that even our soldiers, General, the platform where you came from, I think they show us professional and they safeguard us from any harm. So for me, I think I salute them what they did, and I'm wishing that tomorrow this ECZ can give us the final results, so that on Monday we can travel to Lusaka and to go and see the inauguration of our head of state. And today again, I one of the guys who will fly from Kabwe to Lusaka, who was Don Mwenda. I'm sure you remember, General spoke to him, and Pest Chateau was standing in Wacha constituents. They were followed by unknown people with guns, and due to that, we fired them to Lusaka. And right now, they are at our 7th Republican president, Mr. Akainde Hichilema, as Hichilema's resident. That's where they are being kept for the safety. And I was very happy when he sent me a picture showing the police vehicle parking on our 7th Republican president's residence. That was confirming that we are in the race. For the last thing I think I can add on this issue is just to tell, as other president have tell President Lungu, just concede defeat, sir, and leave this country to be the peace country the way it has been, and let us enjoy our inauguration on Monday. That you keep on draining us. You have drained us a bit, and I was even surprised to see that he's able to reply General in quick, because the election has just been announced for 2 days, and he's able to write a letter. When people were being killed, it was quiet. When gassing was being happening in Zambia, we thought we have got no president. It was quiet. We thought that maybe he's a person who waits for things to go west, then he talk. But I'm surprised on the elections, he's commenting very quick. And even the SG is trying to go at the totaling center to start trying to bring havoc. We don't want that. Let them sit down and see that what they were doing for the people of Zambia now, the people of Zambia has responded. And I'm very happy for Nguruwe. I'm very happy. We don't know the celebration we are supposed to have today, but we are waiting for the head of state first, so that we can have it. Both the head of state and the Madame Zosta Piri's victory, for me to show that Nguruwe, you were nothing to break our bonds. Now we have break your life. Thank you very much, comrade.
Thank you so much, Wiseman. You've done a fantastic thing. When I saw the results for Kabwe, and I just said to Kabwe, you've done very well. And then in Malambo, Mukebi Zulu, they were arrogant because of the Bill 10. You also mentioned something about the soldiers. I think our viewers, I told you that our soldiers are professional. I said it. There is no way that our soldiers will harass our citizens. I say that, and you'll be happy to hear that the results coming out of the barracks and the police camps, including State House, Mr. Lungu has lost throughout. I'll give you an example of Skanze camp, where HH got 11,000 votes and ECL got 300. So all the barracks is lost. So that's how the situation with our soldiers. So when we're saying soldiers are going in the field and they thought they were going to harass our people, not our army, the army which I know. Let's move on. What do you think is happening? You have seen the Kema and the Kaoma results as well. I know those are some of the areas you are interested in, and even the other provinces as well. What do you think has been happening, sir?
I am very overwhelmed, gentlemen and ladies. It's an amazing turn of events, and what you hear from the so-called outgoing president, these are just the last kicks of a dying horse. We have to understand, we have to respect that it's not easy to give away the soup, the chicken soup that these guys have been having for the past 7 years. So I'm so delighted. I'm so very, very happy that the people in Kaoma, turn out and showed the incumbent the road to Chewama, that he has to go back. He is not, you know, what you have to understand, ladies and gentlemen, that like Council Musha, I think it's him who said something like, this president was imposed on us. We never actually knew. We never voted for him to come and to be the president. He became president by chance. He just happened to be in the right place at the right time. But now we are showing him the way. I'm so glad, I'm so delighted that he's a friend of mine, he's my colleague, Tutwanguluwe, lost because the way, in the manner in which he spoke against our boss, State Council, John Sangwa, together with Makedi Zulu, they really attacked my boss, my former boss, attacked him like he had, like he was nothing. That Davis Cham at one point even called him a dumb lawyer. When he was talking about third term, you know, and the Constitution. So when I heard that they lost their seats, now I'm just looking at, I can imagine how the State Council John Sangwa feels right now in his seat and laughing. Who's laughing now? You know, because these guys, they actually had a very wrong, they were deceiving people. They were going out there purporting to be popular, like Campbell put it earlier, that they had this deception, or they were deceiving people that they were popular, when actually, in actual fact, there was trouble in paradise. They know that they were not going anywhere. And I'm so glad that the Zambian people have showed him their way. So I'm glad actually to see Hakainde leading almost by 60 of, I don't know how many percentages he's leading now, but it's such an overwhelming results. And like I said, like Kaka Savini, Konjika Sapo, Akafupatet Kashane. But in me, I think all the bones are busy dancing, because I am so delighted. I can't wait for Hakainde to be sworn in for the first time as the Republican president. We have waited for so long. And my other word was wanted to talk about Maybe I should just maybe stop here because I just forgotten what I was about to say. I wrote it somewhere. I can wait for other people to come in. But otherwise, I have so much to share with you guys. It's such an amazing time. The tantrums which the ECZ are trying to put out to the oppositions or the observers, it's quite disappointing. They are not supposed to put up a defense mechanism. They're supposed to understand that people are running out of patience because they are taking so much time. We know they know the answers. They know they have already gotten all the response, the answers. They have the results, and they've decided now to distribute these results according to their own time frame. But otherwise, they have all the answers. They have all the results, and they must have already, like Council Musha put it, that they have already stated, shared with the outgoing president about what's going on. Because he's the president, he has to know he has to have the first-hand information. So, tabakwete if yakuchita nabeshi bati bola 90 minutes naipwa. They have no way to go. But Davis Mwila messed up big time. They have now realized that whatever they were busy capitalizing on has not worked. The Zambian people have just looked into their eyes and told them, "Wo Manyala." So they have really been Manyalad, and now it will be up to them to just pave way. That he should not behave like Trump. So my message kuli Lungu is Mdala, Mr. Longo, my brother from another mother. Pave way. Pave way. Do not listen to those guys who surrounded you, who are busy trying to bring hope. There's no more hope for you. The only hope is for you, sir, to sit and become an advisor of the party. If you want, you can join Yoweri Museveni and stand, because you still have 5 more years, according to the constitutional judges that you appointed. They gave you 5 more years, so you can go to Uganda and be eligible to stand for the other 5 years. But as for us Zambians, we have said to Akana, we don't want third term, whether it's a president or not.
Thank you so much, Bomkelewai. And we have a lot of comments here. I don't know whether I should read some of the comments because that's the best way we can appreciate our viewers. Lisa Charles Glass says all cold cases must be investigated. I'm not sure which cold cases these ones are. And
Dr. Chilufia's case, was it adjudicated?
I think so, yeah. And then Evans Sakaumba says the Bill 10 guys have lost. Yeah, the arrogant ones have gone, including Dr. Bill 10 himself, Given Lubinda. He can't even say anything today. Then Lisa Charles Glass says we need a full-scale audit of all the Kelenkas. Antonio was still ranting this morning. I'm not sure. This is Kalonde. For me, I don't want Antonio to rant. I've booked my cousins in the Northwestern Province to sort out the offer he gave us. They'll cut it off. I think that's what we agreed. We agreed. He said it publicly. So I've booked the guys in Northwestern Province. So they will do a good job. They'll give him. Okay, let's go to Baruth. Baruth, have you been following the tantrums in Lusaka? What do you think is going on?
I have, Uncle Norman, I have. So inecho ningalanda fecha kwa watu wale tukokwesha pantu nga chapu sempunka twala batintanya mulyaka kuya batintanya echere konomba cause wale tupuishenta. He had all this time to address the problems of our country. He never said a word. The wife had to kneel down somewhere saying, I'm appealing for the gassings to stop. And today he should cry that the elections were not free and fair. Are you kidding me? You are the one who even said that ngabali muipaya. So number your statement vale mbele twala wonfya cyberbullying ngabafika pagate ngabafuma fe pagate palya bakapokola bapilibuke baba chitentwan kane cyberbullying kaidi chera tukutaba muntu ankane bali wonfya cyberbullying so twala ya wonfya yonsama nankane bali tupera mafunde balere mba mafunde so twala ya wonfya ngabafuma fe pagate palya bakapilibuleka moto kabekshemo umo bamuchitenani kane. That's how it's going to be handled. And you know, I'm so happy. But if you have to kokoshefi, vale kokosha, we are very impatient, you know. And I just don't know how you can have one computer to enter so much data in one location, like is it Nakatindi? They have so much information to enter, but they only have one computer. Eh? And then you land up and no, this man took us for a ride. And kumupesha. Twamupesha, bamupesha konse na kuchira bombe konse. Mwachita bwino wa Zambia mwabombeni. This is what it is to be Zambian. Tetu uchitepo fe single out muntu umo. No. Na totela mkwa.
Thank you so much, Ruth. And I'm sorry if there's some phone calls coming through here, which I'm trying to avoid. And let's go to Chama Pesi. You've been following the results. We've got the results in case you need the results. And I was thinking that we've done so far 1 hour and 22 minutes. And I was thinking that towards the end, I will ask a very silly question. What do you expect? What do you expect from the UPN government in 90 days? What are the priorities? And I can assure you that the things you will tell me, I'll pass them over to the right people. So let's go to Percy.
Yeah, as I was following, the funny one is the unfair crying from the president. When you consider everything he was putting through everyone, it's kind of laughable. And just imagine it was Mr. Kabwe being put in those positions whereby he's standing there. That one he will faint. Imagine in Chipata, he's standing on the gates in Chipata there waiting for him. He will faint. You know, for me, I didn't find it very, very fair on the president, him writing that letter. It's like he's taking the country as fools. That's how I look at it. He thinks like we don't see what's happening. That's the first thing. The second thing, actually, it's corruption. Actually, I'm trying to get onto what you said, what we expect in 90 days. Personally, what I expect. Look at it this way. I'll give you an example of when Mwanawasa came into power. He tried by all means to make sure that everything was everyone was following the law, corruption and everything. Everyone who was doing corruption, they were all being followed. Everyone was, you know. Personally, I expect this government, the new incoming government, it doesn't matter whether somebody won to be an MP, he's still an MP, didn't lose his seat. Even if you won your seat and you can't account for your wealth you've accumulated so far, something has to be done. That's how I think in terms of those people who've been stealing. Because as soon as we start, because the way Mwanawasa did it, and then when you follow, RB followed, it was quiet until PF came into power. When PF came into power, there was nobody who was looking at who's stealing, who's not stealing. Everyone was stealing. So there was nobody to control the stealing. At least if the current incoming president starts putting everyone through the courts, I can assure you the next incoming president after this one, who's coming in, who's going to come in 5 or 10 years time, I can assure you, he won't think of stealing like the previous government. That's all I can say.
Thank you so much, Percy. And let's go to Gregory. Gregory, where are you? Are you in Swansea?
Yes, thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Go ahead, sir. Yes, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I'm actually in Swansea, in Wales, and I'm a keen follower of TV Bakwe too. And we've been at an interesting position, really, considering what has been going on. But anyway, I would really concur with Chama, because I'd actually written down a couple of things that I was looking at. The job for Hakainde's government will be made easy because it will have to rely on availability of funds. So I, for one, personally, I would really be encouraged to see that the rule of law comes into play in the first 90 days, because that's the only tool we are going to use to recoup the monies that have gone into the 48 houses, the fire trucks, the ambulances, honeybee, Ministry of Defense purchases, debts, and so on. This government has to fast-track action on the Auditor General's report, the FIC report. They must work on those. If it means putting that as P1, I'm not going to go against, because the money recovered from the findings of these entities will help to catapult the progress of bringing down the debt aspect that our country is in. It's a shame that we can be talking of this country having a debt of well over 32 billion. When we look at the projects that are there, you ask, where has that 32 billion gone? And then an individual like Bowman Lusambo should be saying he spends 2 million kwacha on a weekend. I'm glad he has sort of been re-elected, so that he can face the music in Parliament, because I'm sure he's going to be roasted. It would also be right for us to ask the MPs to take to task every member of Parliament for PF. I'm also glad that Chilufya is back, though I know it doesn't. I'm just glad he's back, because he has to answer to the $18 million contract. Can he account for that? So for me, I think this government, I expect it to work on the rule of law at an expected speed. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you so much. There is accountability, the rule of law, follow up the Auditor General's report, FIC report, and probably the dismantling of the debt, because that's a huge problem.
Yeah, and General, we also want to know, how much do we owe China?
Yeah.
That has been shrouded in secrecy. We need to know how much Zambia owes China. Yes, and also lifestyle audits, they have to be done for the outgoing as well as the incoming. We just need to know what assets people have. I have the UPND manifesto. So one of the things is zero tolerance to corruption.
Yeah.
We need some high status people, visible people, to, if they are found guilty by law, to really be taken to jail. I think the line has to be drawn in the sand to say we will have zero tolerance to corruption in Zambia. And here is an example. That's how Singapore developed. They put a former president in prison for a long time, and people knew from that day that they could not be corrupt. We need to do that with every official that has served and found by law to be corrupt. So that is my 2 cents, and I'm going to eat now.
Okay,
Sorry,
thank you so much, Campbell.
But General, another just one thing. Marco Polo. I've been following the activities happening at this Marco Polo entity. It has been a cash cow for PF. So for me, I would also want to know why PF has been so interested in Marco Polo. So that's another.
It's all corruption. The whole corruption thing to me is the IDC. For me, I would want to dismantle the whole IDC or make them accountable, because they are using pension money, the pension funds to buy shares in Marco Polo. How profitable is Marco Polo? It's risky to use pension funds for things like that. It's just risky. So let's go to Olga. Olga, you've been quiet. What's the story?
Hi, hello. Yes, so I have been quiet because I've been trying to give an opportunity for everybody to speak, and my phone keeps, every time I try to use my phone, it kind of tries to die on me. That's the reason why I've been a bit trying to find a solution to this situation. So I'll quickly, because my battery is low, I'll quickly run to what I'm expecting of the UPND. I had a lot of points on arrogance and all these, and what Antonio Mwanza. And first of all, on Antonio Mwanza, I just want to say that it would be good for him to actually apologize for disrespecting Kanel Panji Kaunda, and apologize to him and disgracing our founding father by using the statement of and saying things, phrases, these Bemba phrases, the whole lot of somebody that could be the age of your father saying I'm sorry, but that I found that very, very disrespectful. So if you want to say something about somebody that could equally be your father, it's a phrase I know that's used about a spoiled child towards its mother, to say that this child was never raised well. But I think it's not something that a grown-up person should have used to somebody that was that equaled his father. Second of all, the arrogancy of the commissioners and police commissioners, it's like we already know the results. The reason why the opposition leaders have all conceded defeat and actually given out the speeches is that they know that they know the scores, and they know the numbers, and they know what that HH has already won. So when you are being told that go somewhere else and we're going to call you to tell you that we are ready for the results, and then you start announcing results that and when they come out and try to come at you and say these are not the results that you're announcing, are not what they are, then you walk out, the whole commissioner walking out of a press conference without saying a word is actually very, very disrespectful. The last thing I was not the last things, and I've got a few things. I mean, I'm disappointed in Savoy Mboela and all these statements all these statuses that she keeps making. And I thought that she was better than she's doing at present. And when it came to the autopilot, my colleague there also spoke about, like, the country has been in autopilot. The country has indeed been in autopilot. He never spoke about anything. I mean, the last thing, all the deaths, the death of that little boy that was killed by police, all the deaths that's happened, all the Nsaman-Sama deaths, everything, he never said anything. And the worst part of it, to come out with saying this is the person that shot Nsaman-Sama and give us another person again to say this is the person that's going to jail. That was a low blow for the Zambian people as well, to say, okay, is it you that killed the people? You know who did this, and you should have come out and said, okay, the police were wrong. Say something. People have lost parents. People have lost a lot of people. 48 people killed in all these things, in the gassing. He never said anything.
Yeah. No. First of all, Olga, the arrogance of some of these PF boys. Antonio Manza is one of them, but I can assure you that arrogance is ending tomorrow. As soon as the results are announced, that will be the end of Antonio Manza and my traditional Lord's wife, Imboila. I find it very sad because I thought she was very educated, but she's behaving like a I don't know. I might say wrong things. Please forgive me. I don't want to say bad things. So you are right. Some of these kids, their behavior is just unbelievable. I have a lot of respect for Colonel Kaunda, and for me to hear Antonio Manza addressing Colonel Kaunda the way it is done, it's just sad, really, really sad. I think we really, 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 really need to address the role of the commissioners. To me, they are behaving like it's a court. It's like a court, and Judge Chulu is behaving like he's running a concourt or some sort. Their attitude is just unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. It's like the commission is supposed to be a service commission. It's not a trial commission. But the way they behave, even the CEO, he behaves like as if he's like a little headmaster of a primary school. He tells you to sit down, you must sit down, and I find that really, really sad. The person like Skazwe, I know a lot about Skazwe, so I'll try and avoid saying them in public. She's whoever appointed her to that commission, I think made a mistake. She's arrogant and very, very, very patronizing. So I want, ladies and gentlemen, we have 24 hours. We will have a new president. The issue of accountability, rule of law, the Auditor General's reports, the FIC report.
To the list.
Yes, please. Okay, Dr. Kasonso.
I have also put these points in your email, General. Thank you so much for what you do here on TV Bakwetu, and it's always a joy to join in. Now our time to make some things realize for the people that has come. Yeah. And you know, congratulations to our new president. But congratulations to all the people of Zambia, both at home and abroad. First of all, as a diasporan, I would like in the first 90 days, all those provisions in the law that make people who live in the diaspora second-class citizens to be removed.
Yeah, the dual citizenship.
The dual citizenship. A person who lives in the diaspora should not be a second-class citizen. Under the current constitution of Zambia, a person in jail in Zambia can vote, but if you move your house to Namibia, you can't vote. Those type of draconian laws that punish people for seeking a job or an opportunity abroad should immediately be removed within the first 90 days. Number one. Now let me go to my list. A commission of inquiry on debts for constructions. We need the president to appoint a commission of inquiry to investigate all the debts that Zambia has contracted for constructions. We want to have a commission of inquiry ascertain how much was borrowed, how the money was used, and if it were where the money went, and everything on that. Constructions, dates for constructions need a significant commission of inquiry. A commission of inquiry. How can we borrow so much and be the first country in this world to default on that? The president must appoint a commission of inquiry for that too. There should be a motion in parliament to close the constitutional court within the first 90 days. That is a useless institution that has just brought problems to our country. And they didn't even appoint any one of the judges who have had many years of experience conducting judgments. They brought in new lawyers with a good experience, but no experience sitting on the bench. The commission of inquiry, the constitutional court should be, there should be a motion in parliament to close that institution. It's irrelevant to the republic going forward. America does not have
Go ahead, Dr. Kasonso. Hi, Dr. Kasonso. Are you still there? Hello? Wumkelewa, are you able to hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, World General.
Okay, I think we've lost Dr. Kasonso. So he was talking about the Commission of Inquiry, voting rights.
Yes.
For those who are in the diaspora, I think HH made it very, very clear last year that the diaspora is going to be the 11th province of Zambia. And I've done a lot of research on the diaspora. The Zambian diaspora, 80,000, you remit $480 million a year back home. That's a huge chunk of money, which if it's invested properly, Zambians in the diaspora, they have skills as well. We've got connections. Those should be used. And HH was also talking about using some of the diaspora for appointments in the diplomatic service, because you know the countries where you live better than a cadre who was picked from Mansa, taken to London to be High Commissioner or First Secretary London. I saw one High Commissioner who came from Mansa who didn't even know how to address the Parliament, the Scottish Parliament, one time. So the diaspora are going to be the 11th province of Zambia. So let's get back to. I wanted these because it's happening, ladies and gentlemen. HH is going to be the president. I wanted these so that I can do a list tomorrow, which I will send to the president and the vice president before they set up their cabinet. Your input, so that we're not just not just criticizing, but we're also suggesting things. So that's a fantastic list. Now, what do you think is going to happen? Let's just sum it up. We have done 1 hour and 45 minutes. What do you think should happen tomorrow, Gladys? What should happen tomorrow? Because the law says the results must be announced within 72 hours.
Now you have brought up another question, because I had a list of what UPND is needed to do when they come into power.
Add your list. Add your list, Gladys.
Yes, please. I'll add my list. And before I add my list, I'm just speaking on behalf of somebody on the platform who commented that Tassila has a shipping company called Swift Cargo in South Africa, and she's been sending quickly the drivers to go and rebrand. That's just it just sounded interesting.
Swift Cargo in South Africa rebranding. We know a lot about these things, including Dubai. So yes, thank you so much for everybody who has commented, including the floods in Dubai. We know that.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and I had it's not a very long list. I'll be brief. What I wish for when UPND is coming into power, definitely, the Chinese investors has to be thoroughly scrutinized. There must be no Chinese person coming as an investor and selling chihuahua in the street. That should be stopped right away. If that Chinese has to be an investor, he has to be a reasonable investor putting in a lot of money in Zambia. We can't be having Bank of China in Zambia whilst they're transporting money to China instead of letting the money circulating in our country. So that has to stop.
No roasting maize. No roasting maize by the Chinese on the street.
No roasting maize. No selling. They are finishing all the village chicken and let the Zambian eat the broilers from ShopRite. They have to eat the broilers. We eat the village chicken because we know those are the right chicken, not which are filled with a lot of GMOs. We don't want that. And the other thing I wish for is the empowering of the youth. There should be a lot of job creation and also prioritizing and giving contracts to the locals instead of giving contracts only to the foreigners, because the foreigners are more respected. That's what I have noticed, and that's not even a lie. foreigners are more respected and they are giving an upper hand than the locals. So the locals should be having an upper hand than the foreigners. If somebody has to open a company, it's probably there by paper. There has to be a local partner, just like they do in Botswana. Then also the speeding up of the process of paying the pensioners, because there's been a lot of suicide because people have died without getting their monies. And the teachers are also, after they finish, and the nurses, they have to be allocated to their place of work. All those parents who have been there, most of our parents had been suffering to educate a lot of us, being on the market, staying on the sun. And at the end of the day, with the little money they have been sacrificing, their children have no jobs. So it has to be prioritized. And
so the employment of young people, especially the qualified doctors, the teachers, and so forth.
Exactly, because without the teachers, without the doctors, we are nowhere.
Okay.
And
anything else, Gladys?
Yes, I have the Tribalism and insults. Regardless, now PF is gone, it's dead. Rest in peace. UPND has to stop the Tribalism right from tomorrow. It has to be cut down. That thing of bus stop, Kamugoti, whatever it is, it has to stop right away. Insults, there'll be a leader who's an intellectual, who's super educated, who's, so no insults. Tribalism has to stop, no insults, like there's no leader in the country. We're having the leader.
Okay,
thank
you so much.
The other last thing, and the people around us, we have to change the culture of throwing out garbage in the city. And we have to revamp the tourism. Tourism has to be revamped. Garbage has to be stopped. We have to develop that culture from even schools. They have to introduce about that throwing of garbages. When other tourists are coming in our city, they're just like, all these debts. We're having all sorts of diseases because of the garbage which we are throwing in the street. The street vendors have to be removed in the street and give them a decent market where they can be found. We're gonna go there and buy from them, not from just the office all the way up to where you're going. The street vending. Street vending has to be removed and find the marketeers a good, decent place where they can sell their stuff. And we need.
Go ahead, Gladys. Go ahead.
And kindly return our state forests and the 48 houses. We need the name of that person, and it has to be accounted for. And the fertilizer has to be reduced. I know we have the leader who is into agriculture, and I'm sure it's going to be prioritized.
Yeah.
Yes, and I'll give the floor to somebody else. Thank you.
Okay, the issue of the garbage, I think one of the things I've recommended is recycling, so that we recycle and recycle. You know, if you go to Rwanda, you will not find plastics. If you throw plastics, you will be in trouble. And actually, plastics and garbage in Zambia, you can create a lot of jobs. And you can use garbage stuff to create to generate energy, instead of just throwing things around. So the idea of prioritizing recycling. So to our viewers, if you have got any idea you want to be done within the next first 90 days or the first 1 year, please write them down in your comment. There was a guy, Fredson Mtonga. He says, Wakwe, to take all these points to the new incoming president, please, please, please. I will. Mtonga, Fredson, I will. And people who know me, they know that I act very fast. This list will be with the president's office tomorrow. And I'll make sure that they. So any other comments, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, on, first of all, what should happen tomorrow on the elections, on the results, or what percentage do you want HH to win?
No, but I think, let me come in, War General.
Oh yeah, sure. Come in.
I am a little bit tired. I need to go to sleep. I didn't sleep. I was just waiting for
for the
for this
results.
election. Yeah. I'm so looking forward that Hakainde Hichilema wins by a landslide. As we can see already, he is going to take almost 80%, if not mistaken. He's gonna win. He's already won. So tomorrow, what we don't want to hear from the Electoral Commission to the Commission is more excuses after excuses. They have had time. They are underestimating people that stood in the queue, and they want to come in and claim that they have a very big task job to announce numbers when the people spend more hours on the queue. So, and they should actually they should tone down their tempers, because I could see that they were trying to patronize the Honorable and the other teams. And it's them that are going to create havoc if they continue to do things. How could they even claim that they can't start announcing the votes at 8 or 9, but they would rather claim that they would want to assemble around 1200 hours in the morning, as per se. So it's really something that that's a lot of questions. So I want them to just handle this matter, let them be professional, and let them not personalize this issue. The elections, it's not them, it's us who needs answers, and they should do. And also maybe to the Honorable Ngombo, I just want to wish him the best and continue. Ask where he sees something wrong. He should not be intimidated. Let him ask, because he's asking real questions, and he's asking on behalf of the people, that every vote counts. Now, what I want UPND to do when they come into power, the first thing is, as the parliament convenes, I want Hakainde Hichilema to let it to the parliamentarian to decide to remove the immunity of the incumbent, the former president, the outgoing president, to pave way for prosecution if at all need be. Just the way it happened in the Mwanawasa era. Mwanawasa was a good friend to Chiluba. And if he was to act in a personal capacity as a person, he wasn't going to indict or remove the immunity of the president, of his friend who appointed him as a new successor. But instead, he let the rule of law took its course. He let the legislatures to actually act and do the right thing. And that is how we saw that the second Republican president, may he so rest in peace, was being prosecuted because it was the government of the laws, not of men. So I want to actually emulate from Mwanawasa's regime, not to copy everything, but at least to bring the rule of law back into life, to resuscitate the rule of law, because we see for now, there was nothing, even though we had a lawyer in office, but he could not adhere to the constitution or to what was demanded. And I also want the president to look into the lacunas, the parliamentarian, the lacunas of the constitution, the one that created even this constitutional court, the appointment of judges, the criteria that is used to appoint judges. It should be on meritocracy, not just on personal level, where they have to just because they share the same Jameson together, then tomorrow you're appointed to be the governor or the constitutional judge. So I want all the Zambian institutions, the government institutions, we want to bring sanity. Let the HH government bring sanity to government institution. Let him bring back life, because none of the Zambians, all the Zambians, I believe, have lost trust in the government institution.
I think, ladies and gentlemen, there's echo. Can we all mute ourselves and give the speaker? All of us who are not speaking, mute yourselves, please. Thank you. Go ahead, Wamkaleba.
Yes, so I wanted this new government that is coming in place, in power, to resuscitate, to bring life to government institutions, the Anti-Corruption Commission, the ECZ itself, and the police, the army, the all those people that are politically or rather presidentially appointed. They have to be appointed on merit, not just because they are friends or they are they pay homage to the incumbent. We don't want that. We want transparency. It is the only way we are going to enjoy the reigns of the UPND, if at all they become transparent and not try to patronize their own subject just because they are in power. They have to provide the service to the people, not the other way around. Like Hakainde put it, that he is not seeking to go and make a living out of the office, the public office, but he is seeking public office to serve and help or to bring back life into our country. So we need those things. And of course, the other thing was farming. We are known to be a country that has a very good climate. We cannot use climate change as an excuse for economical downfall. UPND, we know for the fact that in your preamble, or rather your constitution, you are going to prioritize farming and give the farmers inputs on time and make sure that the farmers are supported in all angles they need. So if we have a bumper harvest, we have animals. It's not just about agriculture, cultivating the soil. We can also, Mr. Hakainde is a living example. He has animals, he has launches. So Zambia, it's high time we can also venture into this farming livestock. We know we have the potential, we have the resources. So let us utilize them to the good use. So I would maybe pause here to just give room for others to.
Okay, I think let's wind up. I will go to Engineer Gesham and finally Dr. Jones. And I can see that there are a lot of comments here, good ideas. Is fertilizer, ECZ, the cadres. I think the cadres, HH said it very, very clear. There will be no cadres at the bus stations, ladies and gentlemen. There will be no cadres at the markets. There will be no cadres. And I think you saw how Gilbert Liswaniso, the youth chairman, handled the youths. If they were as indisciplined as the PF, they would have been trouble at Mlungushi today. But they were told, no, don't go there. Don't even try. Just try and prepare yourself. So these comments which are here, NAPSA, agriculture is a priority in our manifesto, because Zambia can feed the whole of the region. We've got enough water, we've got enough soils. So we will take these comments. So let's give Engineer Gesham and finally Jones, and then our own Munsha Munsha to wind us up. Yes, sir. Engineer Agasham, sir.
Good morning, all. I don't know if it's evening. It's morning. It's 24 a.m. here in Zambia. Yes. Yeah, I'm coming from all the way from Northwestern Province.
Yep.
Yes. I'm quite overwhelmed with the turnout of the people that came out with a massive, huge landslide. They voted in numbers, and the people have spoken. But us as a citizenry, we are too eager and anxious to see how the current administration that we are having, that they are going to deliver, because we are having so much. We are expecting a lot from the current regime, because there are a lot of incompetence. There was a lot of loopholes that were needed to be mended, and we are hopeful with the current president we are having, His Excellency Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. So he needs to overhaul the whole system, because there is too much incompetence, and we were burning from inside, seeing people who are incompetent holding official offices, upon which we, us as the citizens who are having good qualifications, we're not being given the room for us to execute what we are supposed to execute as the people who are competent enough. All we were seeing just cadres all around.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. I really worry that there'll be the citizens are expecting.
Are you able to get me, please?
Yes, we are. The citizens, Zambians will be expecting so much. Engineer Gresham, could you mute yourself, please?
Can I go on, or
can you mute yourself, sir? Thank you. Okay. I think we'll have to manage the expectations. There's so much stuff which needs to be done, and all skills development for all government employees. That is Oscar Chola. Entire Teaching Service Commission should urge it. So there are all these things. So Dr. Kasonso, and then Munsha, please. Then we wind up.
Thank you, sir. I was in the middle of giving my golden 6 points.
Yeah.
And then my phone that I was using ran out of battery.
Oh,
so I apologize. I wasn't trying to be rude. But as a backup, I also sent my 6 points to your Facebook.
Email. Okay.
Yeah. So and then when I started listening again, I realized that no, I think my sister there with the red hair had bewitched me, because she stole some of my points from my list. So, but I'll re-summarize them just to make sure that I capture what they didn't capture. 6 and quickly under 1 minute. We say that we want in the next 90 days a commission of inquiry on the dates for construction, how the money was spent, guarantees that were given, where the money went.
Yeah.
And if there were anything that was inflated, that could be a saving point to reduce our foreign debt stock. And also, if there was anything that was taken that did not go to those constructions, that forms the basis for recovery or for prosecution. And then 2, motion in Parliament to close the Constitutional Court. It has added a bureaucracy and a layer to our court system. Kufuma fe independence kufika before balungu. Yali fe bwino Zambia nama court twale fe ku magistrate wachita pio ku high court na Supreme Court. Chalo chali normal. Chia Constitutional Court. Jabu kuba fe tulefa ba Parliament bakalo lekeshe po kuchifunyako cha Constitutional Court. 3, removal of all foreign enterprises from small scale and medium enterprises in agriculture. We are hunter-gatherers who became subsistent farmers at independence or earlier than that. We cannot afford to have unfair competition in the small-scale enterprises that feed our families at subsistent level. For example, Ding Dong, I am taking cocoa. No, if you are small-scale business enterprises, temporary permit ya kwikala mu Zambia, tete akube investor muri ya area. Chile ko ulubali ba youth batebo baleteke enkoko. Yes, iyo bakateka batupereyo. Removal of all foreign entrepreneurs from small and medium enterprises in agriculture. Just one field, agriculture. Not to kupanga my equipment, not to collect my cell phone from China. No, that leave to them. But more agriculture. And two, temporary ban on all imports of food stuff that we have or we can make. What is Zambia doing for losing foreign exchange? Ukulete fiakulia ku Zimbabwe, ku South Africa. If you take within
importing onion.
And then temporary ban on foodstuffs. And number 5, a law abolishing 100% foreign ownership in the mines. Imigodisha shaba mumishisha mfumushesu kuri bankola kucho kuntwanikana kuchimbola kuchani migodi chesu chonse shinga chief yalirwa chesu parapa migodi pamugodi kutwaletera nefimpombwa. There should be no 100% ownership in the mines within 90 days. Then bachanda po bamukeleba iyi na yacho point yandi stripping ECL of immunity.
Mukelabai.
Balozi abana ba brothers baba. Why? In fact, abana
Wakasonso. You're still not getting it. Mukelabai.
Oh, mwaba kashibin balozi. Okay. Mukelabai. Abeba mukelabai. Abeba mukelabai.
Yes.
But they are on our side, so we can't do that. So, but stripping ECL of immunity is very important to facilitate investigations. So, kufuye kwa ma investigation, ama lawyers, in fact, tumina ka lawyer kona kesa. Uko to lefo ya ma investigations are proper. Within 90 days, na fube kuna fiala festu alachita abandon, fanze tukwete ko tu alachita, tuisa mpupulusha Zambia. So, not to summarize if it's under Nandi, because I just realized whatever I was thinking, that is what even the red-haired lady here also said.
Before Munsha summarizes, I'll pick one comment from Ngosa Heru Chanda. Says, do not allow defections of politicians from the rejected party. There will be nothing, Chanda. You will not get on Antonio. Let the paracetamol companies operate without interference from the politicians, and let the CEOs be independent people. That is going to happen. Give soft start up for entrepreneurs who are setting up business with tax-free for some period of time. That is a priority. Let every Zambian have a share of our nation's resources. I don't know how, but yeah, you can buy shares in the mines. You can allow Zambians to buy shares in the mines.
President.
Yeah. The way I think he's referring to what Gaddafi did, we need to improve with the technology in terms of how we acquire internet connection into our country. We need to go satellite way and have internet connectivity. Yeah, that's you cannot have a situation where you can't connect, where you have no good picture. Musha's picture is not very good because technology will need to be improved. Musha, can you wind us up for the day, sir?
Thank you very much. I had a little courage to put the video on because I thought that we had better picture, but we'll keep improving until we get the best. If not, we'll see you in Calgary at the TV Vakwetu studios. Thank you very much for today. Thank you to everybody that has contributed. This has been a 2-hour presentation. They're getting longer and longer, General. We need to do something about it.
No, I think it's good because today we had the elections, Munsha. Then I also thought, really, if we are all anticipating to get this new government, what are the issues which we need to handle? Because I think we're having a new government. So for me, I would rather have a shopping list of some of the things which might be achieved in 90 days, some of them 6 months, some of them 1 year, some of them in 3 years, 5 years. And to get all these comments from our people, I think is fantastic. Because the policy in UPND is that the diaspora, you are the 11th province of Zambia. Thank you, Musha.
Okay, thank you very much for having joined us. Don Oscar, we're going to do it again tomorrow. You've joined us late, so we'll see you. Thank you very much. Good night, and God bless our country.
Vamunsha mwibuka kumacha twachimimona na mubuka kumacha na mukwata ma jet lag mwambi okuripota.
Okay, so